Denise Richards has not only joined OnlyFans after her daughter Sammy Sheen did, but she's now advertised an OnlyFans collab with her own daughter. This is really some truly sick stuff. And I'm not kidding. It really happened. She's posted on her OnlyFans page, should my mini-me, Sammy Sheen, and I do another collaboration soon? Is this implying that a mother-daughter OnlyFans collaboration already happened? And they're thinking about doing it again? Like, the best option would be to never do that. The second best option, if you did, is to delete it and never talk about it again. Not to do it again. This is insane. And Sammy Sheen's father, Charlie Sheen, has already expressed his dismay at her being on OnlyFans in the first place. But
you walked
Sammy
back later because he got yelled at.
Yeah, Sammy's justification for going into this line of work is, you know, she wants to make her own money, and she's not doing any sexual acts on the platform, so it's very different. But this girl is 19. She was 18 when she joined the platform. She clearly gained an audience of a bunch of weirdos. And it naturally escalates because in order to keep that audience, they're looking for escalating more and more degenerate content. There's no end to it. So you can start by thinking, oh, I'm just going to post like pictures of myself in a bikini or whatever. But in order to keep that audience coming back and paying you month to month, you're going to have to raise the stakes. Yeah. And that's when I guess her disgusting mother comes into the picture and says, let's promote incest on this platform.
No sexual acts, so none of that. But still, the implication is there.
Okay, what is the implication, though, that Denise Richards is trying to sell here?
That's what I'm saying. The implication is there, but that's not what's actually there. But yes,
like, don't play dumb. Yeah. Like, she knows what she's doing.
I know. I'm not.
She knows exactly what type of audience she's trying to get, and she's pimping out her own daughter.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
The other thing about it is like actually there's a $20 one there from Gordon Shumway. It says, Brett, fans are going nuts over a singer and their influence on society is nothing new. Girls went nuts over Sinatra, and he and his friends helped our president get our president elected. There are videos of girls going nuts over the Beatles. I understand that. I'm just saying that now I'm interested around what the societal implications are now, given how we have changed. You're also mentioning male singers, right? Madonna was big. Was Madonna big exclusively amongst women? I imagine Madonna was big amongst women and men. Like, I think there's an interesting thing there, especially since the biggest one before that was like what? Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Right? So it's just...
Or like One Direction, maybe.
Yeah, but that's a group. Even then, with the boy bands of the 90s. Like, I just think it's fascinating. And I do think that she's elevated in the social media age higher than a lot of people would have expected, especially for someone with a career of her longevity. She's more famous now than she would have been statistically when she probably would have been at her peak, which would have been in her mid-20s.
Yeah, I think she still hasn't reached her peak.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
But for this, like, if this was just Denise Richards, like, they make the point of saying, like, look, she did scandalous photo shoots and stuff before. You would have an issue with that. She made a lot of studios a lot of money with spicy photo shoots and content, like she was in the movie Wild Things. I don't have a problem with an adult doing that for herself rather than giving it to the studio. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the implications of...
she joined OnlyFans in solidarity with her 18-year-old daughter against the wishes of her father, her ex-husband. And clearly that's a way that she's trying to get revenge on her ex-husband, which is, again, gross. She's using this as leverage against her ex-husband. And he doesn't even have the spine to actually make a comment publicly saying that he doesn't approve of this.
Yeah. There was also this article from Daily Beast that said, first of all, back off of Undercover Brother star Denise Richards. That's supposed to be like a cutesy comment. Second of all, I think we should celebrate mothers who support their daughters doing sex work and are bold enough to join in on the fun. Whenever we hear about the children of famous people entering the sex industry, like Lawrence Fishburne or Steven Spielberg's respective daughters, it's framed as some sort of failure on their part and as part of a stain on their legacy. That's because as much as they want to make it seem like that's not the truth, that is usually how it's perceived by society, right?
That is the
truth.
Had
the idea is that, like, look, they're the ones that like to talk about privilege, right? Like, so is the idea that your child was privileged, had all of the upper hand in, all of the opportunities in the world, and still ended up doing this work that society still deems as a lesser thing, right? That's how society sees it. And to act as if you can single-handedly wave this and turn it around is kind of silly. I think they're working towards doing that slowly but surely. And OnlyFans is a huge part of that. But it
takes a hell of a lot of brainwashing and societal conditioning to get everyone to change their mind about the fact that sex work is inherently degrading.
Thank you guys.
You don't need to brainwash people into thinking that sex work is degrading. That's been common sense for all of human history.
And I will state, as I always do, that when we get cases like this, look, whatever your stance is on the degrading nature of the work, I don't care if an adult wants to do this, if it's of their own volition, but I do care about how in 20 years I'm going to have to read the book from Sammy Sheen about how, I was demoralized and degraded in my 20s for the pleasure, and then men will be the bad guys again because they're the ones buying all this stuff. And I would like to see people pivot to taking responsibility for their own actions rather than making it somebody else's fault when you as an adult make a decision to do what you do.
She clearly never was raised with any standards for herself, was she? If she grows up at 18 to think that this is an acceptable form of work. I'm sorry, sex work is not work. And if she were raised with any morals whatsoever, she would know that.
And do we put this on the men who make these industry? Like, this has been
you put this on her weak father who isn't going to take a stand and say that this isn't okay. You put this on her disgusting, self-interested mother who is joining in on the fun, trying to make money for herself and trying to use this as leverage to get back at her ex-husband. And yes, you put this on Sammy Sheen herself because even common sense should tell you that this is degrading and you should not do this and put a stain on your legacy before you're even 20 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone here bears responsibility.
And like a lot of the ones that people are pointing out to the contrary now is like, look, if men weren't so ready, willing, and able to spend crap tons of money on these industries, they would disappear. But the market is still there.
Because like nobody thinks they know someone that subscribes to an OnlyFans account.
Yeah. But
maybe more people know OnlyFans customers than they think. Like
it's the realities of the free market, right? Like, as long as there's a market to fill, as long as there are men that are willing to pay money for this, there are going to be people that are going to fill this void.
There are a few million registered creators on the OnlyFans platform, like 2 million. Count out the ones that are inactive or the ones that never made any content in the first place. Count out the ones who are in like the bottom 90%, okay, that make like $2 a month. There aren't really that many OnlyFans creators, and there is a very, very minuscule portion of them that actually make a living doing this.
I think they said it's the ones in the 0.1% are the ones that like make insane amounts of money, and you have to be in the 0.1 or like in the 0.1 or 0.2, like in the 1 or 2%.
You need to be in the decimals to actually make real money on it.
It's like, it's in like the single digit percentile of creators to be able to make like a good living on it and stuff like that. But now here's another place where the media becomes part of the deal, because we see articles over and over again where they say this creator signed up for this platform and is making they elevate it. They say, and they're making millions of quick cash. Well, another thing that happened recently is they talked about
paid advertisers.
when Mandy Rose was fired from WWE for having her, it wasn't OnlyFans, but it was like Fansly or something. It was some other similar type platform, right? And then people were like, why isn't she allowed to do that? Well, that made sense because WWE is a PG company that advertises to kids. You can't have one of their wrestlers using that platform. Now, a lot of people had a problem with the fact that at that time, WWE had cut off their wrestlers from being able to make money on Twitch. They're like, if you're going to do this, we're taking a high percentage of it. But it made sense, right? Like, you can't be working for WWE, advertising to kids and advertising on OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
But now, like, they fired her, and she's making $500,000 to $1 million a month off the platform. And now they just released Dana Brooke, and the first thing Dana Brooke did was make one of those accounts. If you're one of these women that's got a built-in fan base and you're not even posting nudes, you're just posting the same stuff you'd post on Instagram, you're never gonna stop that. You know, people are doing it for free on Instagram, and you're never gonna tell some woman that, do you want to take these same pictures, put them here, and make $500,000 a month? That's not a market that's ever gonna stop.
It's just crazy to me because, like, for so many other women, there is no amount of money that could ever persuade them to do the same. And what differentiates the mindset of those two people? I don't get it, because there's no amount of money that could ever convince me to do that.
Yeah.
Period.
It's and that's like, I guess it's like for me, maybe because I'm not a girl. So I'm like, look,
I'm sure men don't really like understand this, because they think if I were a woman, I would be doing this and that. Like, I would have an OnlyFans and I would hook up with dudes all the time, and like, they think that they would do all these things if they were women. But if they were women, they would understand that none of those things have any actual value to us. That's why the majority of women don't have OnlyFans, right?
But the media is going to keep pushing it because it's a fillable market that's making billions of dollars a year.
They're making more money promoting it and getting brand deals to promote OnlyFans than they are on OnlyFans.
I mean, those bigger ones are making, those ones in the top are making insane money.
It's like turning into an MLM thing where you make money by convincing other people to sign up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Which is more sick.
I have no problem criticizing the whole promoting mother-daughter thing together. That's
and she also
weird.
Has a younger sister who is still a minor who is looking at this and thinking like, oh, this is how adult women are expected to act.
Remember when Katie Price said that her daughter's like, I want to do OnlyFans like you.
Yeah,
like
this 8-year-old girl is saying, I want to do OnlyFans like you, mommy.
It's also interesting because this is the type of thing where before you would have both parents willing to criticize a kid who would choose to go into this type of work, which might stop them from doing it.
A unified front.
It's not hard to believe that that's going to disappear the more common it is for, and this is also.
So it all comes back to no fault divorce.
And single parents and single moms who are not expected to criticize their daughters for doing it. They're expected to be supportive no matter what.
Outside of Hollywood, just normal people, when a girl has an OnlyFans, you always hear that her mom is the supportive one. You don't hear anything about her dad, who maybe not even have been present in her life beforehand for obvious reasons. But it's always the mom that supports it. And it's the moms in this broken culture that are transing their kids and doing all of this stuff. Like, it needs to be stopped. This is toxic femininity.
I would appreciate the media, given as the media is evil, if it was a perfect world. Brett's in charge, perfect world. The media is no longer a disgusting, diabolical, evil entity. That if they're going to promote the articles, the slice of life pieces, oh my gosh, look at this story. This woman made $1 million signing up for OnlyFans. Isn't that interesting, right? Because if we were to take that person and not assume that they're just doing it for the destruction of society, it's just some reporter who's like, wow, that's crazy. They have no opinion one way or the other on sex work. They're just like, wow, that's crazy. I would also appreciate an article that says, like, here is the 999 million other people who tried to sign up and realized this shit ain't for me. right?
But that's not an attractive story.
It's like it's that favorite video. It's one of my favorite memes of all time, where it's the girl. It says like when she realizes she's not cut out. It's the bottle girl when she realizes she's not cut out for OnlyFans, and she's crying, and she goes, "I guess I'm gonna have to take my real estate license." You know, right? Because she's like some of them, and we did the one story about the lady who's like she did it for like a year and realized that she'd never felt more degraded.
I don't remember that.
We did that. We covered the one lady.
But I'm sure there are tons, hundreds, thousands of stories like that.
Yeah, like it's just... we got a $20 one here from the Manic Mustache. Says, apropos to pro wrestling, the lines between kayfabe and shoot have been blurred lately. I blame The Rock. Hi, Mary. Hashtag lapsed.
Lapsed?
Lapsed. Yes, I mean, this is kind of... That's what's funny about it, right? Is a lot of people got mad that... that wrestling gave away kayfabe, which was like when they kept it from the public that wrestling was fake, that wrestling was scripted, because the idea was like good guys and bad guys never traveled together, they weren't seen hanging out together. But in the social media age, that's not really possible. Yeah. But what Logan Paul is ushering in is a new era of like actual kayfabe, where you don't know anymore what the hell is real and what the hell isn't.
Well, I mean, we know that it's real.
I mean, yeah.
We know that Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul actually do hate each other.
Yeah, but think about like him and KSI.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, KSI never went as hard as Dylan Dennis did.
I'm just saying that like the lines are getting blurred. The lines are getting blurred. Yeah, I just, Charlie Sheen, I guess Charlie Sheen is also, to be fair to him, not to fair to him, but his behavior in the past probably makes it hard for him to put his foot down when you're known as the coke snorting.
Because it's hypocritical.
Exactly, right? So he's got it's very hard. It's not like this is some domineering conservative guy who wore a suit and tie everywhere he went.
But that should give him more validation to what he's saying. If he says like, hey, I've been in this life where I was addicted to drugs and I was doing all of this sexual degeneracy and it didn't give me fulfillment. So telling his daughter like, please learn from my mistakes. This isn't the right path to go down at your young age. Why isn't that like a way that he could phrase it?
Because in today's
society,
it's
more so that he just doesn't care enough.
Yeah. Also in today's society, I think a lot of it is like people would call him on like the hypocrisy of it, and it would be called male privilege.
But it's like
you get to behave this way, but I don't.
Hypocrisy is seen as the only real sin these days. That's crazy to me.
Think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I agree with that, because I think like leftists love being hypocritical because they don't believe in truth. They only believe in, there's no truth but power. They have no problem being hypocritical all the time because it's all about, emphasizing your point, even if you directly contradicted yourself 5 minutes ago.
I don't think it's hypocritical to say, in my past, I did XYZ and I learned that XYZ is bad.
Yeah.
I advise you not to do XYZ. That is not hypocritical. Yeah. That is someone learning from doing things that were bad for them.
Yeah. That's
like a normal human evolution.
It'll be interesting to I guess it's sad because we're in the early days of this movement, right? So we're gonna see how this turns out for a lot of people down the line. Not everyone's gonna be those few adult stars who have made long careers out of it, who turn themselves into businessmen and women, like Lisa Ann, who became like she's a sports commentator, wrote several books. Like most of you aren't going to be that.
If you have a thing that makes you, that gives you a platform before you start OnlyFans, that's something you can fall back on. For this girl, she has nothing except for the fact that she is descended from a star. Somebody said,
why didn't her dad just offer to pay her whatever she was going to make to do this? Because she's wants to be independent. She just isn't realizing that maybe your dad could pay you to do this while you go to college and find something else you love to do. But this is the liberal world now, right? This is the leftist worldview where you do this in your 20s and you don't realize until later that it's a problem. And then you're pushed right into the men are bad pipeline when you hit your 30s, where it's because of evil men that all of this stuff happened. Your evil dad didn't stop you. The evil men who paid for it degraded you. and then you write your memoir.
And it's because of evil men that after I did OnlyFans, I can't get a normal job.
Yes. So like then you write your book in your 30s. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.